What's going on, everybody? Silverado Garage here. It's another cold ass day in Nebraska. It's warmed up a little bit, actually. It's like 50 degrees, but it's still cold. Anyway, we got an oil change to do today on my 2012 Dodge because it hasn't had one since I've owned it, and I don't know the last time it's had one, so I'm just gonna do it as a precautionary measure. And you all know how to do oil changes, or you can find a YouTube video that can show you better than I can, so let's roll with it.
Candy paint with the white on top, Lambo doors or the woo-up drop. If you busy plotting on what I got, kick in your door and swat you thought. $100,000 on the tabletop, half price my whip, same price my watch. Got no jumper.
All right, guys, looked like that went well. It's always nerve-wracking doing an oil change on a car for the first time, like a car you're not familiar with, because I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of, you don't want to run it dry or put too much in, but it needed. It looked like this thing needed an oil change about 1,000 miles ago, so I really should have done that right when I bought it. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to own it for very long, so long term, it's not going to affect me that much unless it blows up, which it's not going to. It was really dirty. Shout out to Dodge for putting the oil drain plug like really easily accessible. I don't have to jack this up or anything. I just slid under there and did it. The oil filter was kind of a pain in the ass to get to, but it wasn't like too tight. I didn't have to get a wrench. I could just do it by hand, and I reset it. It took like 2 seconds to reset it, as you saw. So yeah, hope you guys like that little montage. Now into the rest of the video. All right, so the title of the video says how I drive cars for free. And this isn't like $0 up front and just it's not like stealing a car. This is like you have money invested in the car, money invested in the money you put into it. And like when you go to sell it, it doesn't cost you any money to own. You either make money or you break even. So how I do this is I look for the cheapest example of a car. Usually I try to get one that's well optioned, like if it's like a Dodge, instead of getting like an SLT or an RT, you go for a Bighorn or a Laramie, or like a Chevy, like you go for an LTZ or an SLE, not an SL or an LT, you know what I mean? So you do that, and like, so it's easier to sell, it's easier to market once you go to sell it. So I try to find the cheapest version of a car, or the cheapest example of a car I can find, with not necessarily a lot of miles, but like medium, like 100,000 to 130,000 miles. If it's less, that's great, but around that, that's what I try to look for. And it usually needs some work, like say a windshield, tires, usually not like body damage. Like my last truck had rust. I got that fixed for really cheap. This truck needs a new driver's seat cover, but that's like $200 or $130, whatever it is. It's somewhere between that. So you blue book the car. When you go to research the car, you blue book it, see what it should be worth. If like try to go to trade-in value, try to like just see how much they're going for. And if you can find one for, usually I try to go for 2,000 to 3,000 under that is what I try to look for, because I can usually buy it, pay the registration for it, and then put a little bit of money into it, and then go to sell it for what I have in it, or hopefully more. What I did for the last car, or my last truck, was I sold it for more, $1,200 or $1,000 more. This one, I'm hoping to make at least $1,000 on it. And so you buy it you buy it, you put however many miles. I drive for about 3 months, or before it hits the next big number. Like if it's at 140,000 miles, I'll try to sell it before it gets to that. Or like, if this truck's at 135, I'm going to try to sell it at 138, 139,000 miles, just so it's like, it's under 140,000 miles. It's just one of those things for me that I try to do. Then the next thing, okay, so for gas, insurance, and oil changes, I don't factor that into my, what the car cost me, because I figure that's just routine. Gas, you're obviously putting that into it. Insurance, that's something you have to pay anyway. And then oil changes, that's just what goes along with regular maintenance. Tires, I don't factor into that. Just like batteries, alternators, starters, stuff like that. I do not factor those things into like, I try to, that would be part of like the money you invest for the flip. It's not something you just, I automatically, this isn't really going, how do I phrase it? So gas, oil changes, insurance are stuff I don't factor into it. Like that's just stuff that just goes owning a car. That's stuff like I have to do it for every car. So, let's see, what else is there? So I try to buy it for, 2,000 to 3,000 under Blue Book value, and then try to invest at least like $1,000 into it. I usually figure about $1,000 for registration. That's about $2,000 right there in just like parts and registration. And then I try to sell it for at Blue Book value or slightly over. And then before you go to sell it, you have to have you try to have the cleanest example of the car that you could put on Craigslist or whatever you're like using to market it. So like you got to have it detailed, not a single flaw, get it perfectly, like everything cleaned up. Like if I had to, this one, the lady, let me flip you around here. So the previous owner, liked orange just for some reason. So she put out like the Ram and the Dodge. She like took a Sharpie to it and made it orange, and like all the cup holders, I had to take those out to paint them black again because they were orange. So you just have to like make it as stock as you possibly can. And from my personal experience, the easiest cars to sell are the cars that are closest to stock. So my first car, the red Silverado that was lifted, that car, I only had one person make an offer on it, and that's the person I sold it to. And the red Beamer, that was stock, but I mean, those cars are, that's like a specific market for those cars. Then the black Chevy, it had the wide ass wheels on it, as you guys know. And so that was kind of hard to sell because the kids looking for trucks like that don't have the money. They can't afford that truck with the wheels on it. And the only people that are looking for the wheels like that are like kids, and they don't usually have the money for it. So it's kind of hard to sell. So I don't know if it hurt me or helped me with the wheels, but like, it's just one of those things. And so with this truck, I'm trying to get closest to stock as I can. Like the only thing that's not stock is exhaust. And so I'm gonna have to go back to try to, it's straight piped as it is. The only thing it has right now is cats. So before I go to sell it, I'm gonna have to put a muffler on it just to make it more old people friendly, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to make it as stock as I can. It sounds great right now, I love it, but before I go to sell it, I'm gonna have to make it stock again. So that's how I do it. I've made money in the last car. The last car before that, I broke even. The red truck, I lost a little bit of money on that, but I'm not too worried about it. So this is my current flip. That's a 2012 Dodge Ram. You guys saw the video on it. I'll keep you guys updated with stuff I'm doing to it and how it goes. If you have any more questions, pop them down in the comments or DM me on Instagram at SawyerZ71, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. I am 18, so this is something anybody can do. I don't have a whole lot of money. I own all my cars outright. I don't have a loan from the bank or anything. Every penny of these cars is mine, personally. So I don't have to worry about like liens or fucking bank owning cars. It's just easier for me. So yeah, I'm kind of droning on a bit. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the montage at the beginning, I'll keep trying to do stuff like that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel to like fucking 200 subscribers by the end of January. January 2nd right now, or 3rd. So I don't know if that's possible, but I'm trying to do it. So thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more.